June 29th, 7:42 p.m. The lawns of SW19 are precisely 8 millimeters. The head groundskeeper, Mr. Stubley, trims the final blade of grass with gold-handled scissors he's used since 1995. 256 ball kids exit the west gate quietly, efficiently, and mildly sunburnt. Somewhere, a top-seeded player stares at the ceiling, rehearsing his second serve. This is Steward Liam. He's just here for the strawberries. In exactly 14 hours, the gates will open.
Struggle on opening day, hottest opening day record, potentially temperatures 33, 34 degrees likely. Yes, the heat is building. Very good morning to you.
I need to turn this fan off so you guys can hear me, but if I turn this fan off, I may pass away. Every year that we come here, it is either a perfect, gorgeous, beautiful 68 degrees and partly cloudy, or it's freezing and pouring rain. This is unprecedented. Apparently, as I've been told, this is actually unprecedented for London, and they really get 3 or 4 hot days a year, which is why nobody has air conditioning. Every year that we come to Wimbledon, we rent a house in Wimbledon Village, maybe 5-10 minutes from the court. So you guys might recognize this background from my vlog last year, but like most of the houses here, no air conditioning. And us being quintessential Americans, if we don't have air conditioning, we will wither and die. So we get little individual air conditioning units that we put in the bedrooms that we can peacefully sleep at night, but the rest of the house does not have air conditioning, including this room. And I also have never been at Wimbledon when it's been like this. Matches being played in this heat is gonna be bizarre. I don't know how really that's gonna affect play. Besides, I think that, you know, if it goes 5 sets, players are gonna get significantly more fatigued. We might see players cramping at Wimbledon, which doesn't happen as much. It is gnarly. So already an interesting week because of that. But regardless, we are back at Wimbledon, one of the 4 Grand Slams that takes place in London. The only Grand Slam that is on grass, the oldest, most prestigious, most incredible tennis tournament on the tour. I definitely have a biased affection for this tournament because I work directly with Wimbledon to host this show called Wimbledon Threads. So the first year, it was really fan interviews on the grounds, talking about what spectators are wearing. Last year, we dove a little more into history and royals. This year, we're actually doing sort of more long form interviews with a few athletes, artists, musicians, fashion designers. So as always, those live on the Wimbledon website and the official Wimbledon YouTube. So I am heading to site right now, first to have a meeting with Wimbledon and the Threads production team. I will be staying at Wimbledon at least for a week regardless of Taylor's results because I do have the contract for Threads. And then we have Taylor's first round match. And I'm not gonna lie, low-key, it is such a hard match for a first round. Obviously he's playing well right now. He just won 2 titles and is very confident, but such a hard first round. Anyways, today, oh my God, the other earring. Oh. Anyways, every year I do one strawberry themed outfit because why not make it fun? I'm still trying to get the way strawberry bag. And I'm drinking a strawberry smoothie. It's actually strawberries and beets, which is kind of a weird combo, but.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please? We are now opening the grounds, so the stewards please open the gates.
It's already 7 p.m. today, and the court that he was going to play on does not have lights at the stadium, so I think sunset's around 9:20 p.m., and they can't play once it gets too dark, maybe like 15 minutes before sunset. So they moved it to court 1. We're not entirely sure, but we think there are lights on the stadium court, so center and court 1. But we're gonna find out. I just got back to the house. I'm losing my voice, which truly couldn't be a worse possible time to be losing my voice. I actually don't think I've ever been that stressed during a match. Oh my God. And then Wimbledon has a curfew. So even if the courts have lights, they are not allowed to play after 11 p.m. It's, I think, an ordinance that they have with the town of Wimbledon because the people who live here don't want to deal with loud crowds in the middle of the night. So they stopped the match after the fourth set, after this absolutely insane tiebreak where Taylor was down 5-1. This guy's serve is absolutely insane. Like, he had a very good sort of comeback in the tiebreak, and then they called the match, and I feel bad because the fans were so upset. I really don't think that Taylor, I haven't talked to him yet, but I don't think that he wanted to stop the match. So we're going to have to finish it tomorrow, just play one set. It's like 11 p.m. now. We're going to have dinner. He still has to do treatments. We'll probably get to bed at like 1:30 tonight. I've learned this week that Jimmy Choo heels are very comfortable. I actually can walk a solid 10 to 20,000 steps. He has just got one set to play today, which is bizarre, but I'm also grateful that I won't be sitting in this heat for multiple sets. If you guys haven't noticed, I fucking hate the heat. I would rather it be freezing cold and raining every single day than anything above 80 degrees. I don't want to do it. The situation last night is that if both players would have agreed to continue the match and try to finish before 11, they would have played. Taylor wanted to keep playing. His opponent did not. So therefore, they called it well before curfew. I'm coming here today before the good stuff sells out. I actually don't know what they have this year. This is cute. Feels like turf. These are new. Just got back from the match and I have a press interview.
Thank you. Thanks so much for meeting with me.
Of course.
Have you ever felt any pressure to appear a certain way?
Yes. We are having our first hymns of the year. Taylor is on court 1 again today, and he's third on after 1 p.m. I don't know why they start the matches late at 1 p.m., but he should be on, it's like 5:15 right now, so probably in the next hour or so. There's the cutest baby. Look at me right now. Do you see the baby? Look how cute. He's just like mugging me right now. Two superstitions when it comes to tennis matches. One, if you've watched my vlogs before, you probably already know, and that is if a player bagels someone in a set, which means they win the set 6-0, they will either narrowly win the match or they're gonna lose that match. He has famously intentionally lost games because he did not want to 6-0 another player because he believes so strongly in that superstition. The other superstition that he has is that if a player beckons the crowd to cheer, that player is going to lose that match. And I will say, regarding those two superstitions, he's usually not wrong. I saw a stat this morning that there have not been this many seeds that have lost in the first part of the tournament since 2001. I will say I think Wimbledon tends to have more upsets than the other Grand Slams because the grass season is so short. Some players choose not to do many of the warm-up grass tournaments. Not Taylor, he's gonna play them all. If you are not super familiar with sort of the details of rankings and draws and that system in tennis, for Grand Slams there are 32 seeds and the seeds are based off of rankings. So the 32 is 1 in the world all the way down to 32 in the world. And that's true for both the men's and the women's draw. And the reason that they do this is so that the top players are not playing each other in the beginning rounds of the tournament. And the hope is that the top players move on. It's basically so like number 1 in the world and number 4 in the world don't play each other in the first round. And the reason that they're called seeds is because they are planting them in the draw in hopes that they grow and advance. It's kind of punny. Quite a few of the top seeds on both the men's side and the women's side have lost very early in this tournament, which upsets happen. They happen at every tournament, but there's just been a lot. And early upsets like this, there's kind of a bittersweet side to it. A lot of times people are really, really excited if, you know, a wild card or someone ranked like 300 in the world beats a top 20 player. You know, obviously I think people like to root for the underdogs. I will say specifically for Wimbledon especially, it's exciting when it happens, but I think one of the amazing parts about Wimbledon is, you know, the queue, and people can come in and get grounds passes, and because there's only a few main stadium ticketed courts, if people come later in the first week or even the second week, they can queue and see top ranked players on those side courts without like a center court or a court 1 ticket, which obviously is very exciting for fans to be able to have that opportunity. But when these upsets happen, it's exciting at first, but then you get to the second week and fans don't get to come and watch their favorite players or top players play on those smaller courts. When the draw came out, when Taylor and I were in Eastbourne, I remember we sat down and we looked at it and we just like looked at each other in silence. So if you are one of those top 1 to 32 seeds, in the first round, you basically can play anyone who's ranked outside the top 32. So you could play 33 in the world, or you could play a wild card ranked 450. So the two sort of up and coming, really, really good servers on tour are Picard and Diablo, who happens to be Taylor's first and expected second round. I mean, that's just such an unlucky draw for a 5 in the world seed. This little dress is from Couray. I'm wearing it with these little sort of like, not ankle socks. What's the between a knee-high sock and ankle sock? That calf socks. And these white pumps. Most of my heels have the whole toe completely scuffed up because when I'm sitting in the player's box, usually there's a concrete wall in front of us, and when I get nervous, I have this horrible, horrible habit of kicking the concrete wall. So all of my heels that I wear all the time, the toes on every single one of them are completely scuffed up from wearing them in the box.
Gotta give it away to the one.
Box life.
Just finished the second set. Less stressful match than the previous two.
Yeah. Just messed up the vlog.
Oh, sorry. They had a vlog. Actual store, it's okay. Taylor just won, and it's already 5 o'clock somehow, so we got sausages. It's low-key. Alexa's here. This is low-key one of my actual favorite foods on site. They're really good. It's like a sausage with crispy onions, and I had one last year when I was starving, and it was delicious.
Lord, let your love and kindness fall on us like rain.
Comes the team.
Hopefully not on TV.
Let me just order Chipotle. Where do you get a free Chipotle?
Putney.
Putney.
Putney location. You get for Chipotle, you get a free side of guac with your order.
Oh yeah. Chipotle UK has a thing that when Taylor wins his match at Wimbledon, at the
next day.
The next day you can get free guac. Only in Putney though?
The Putney location, yeah. I think that's because that's the closest one to like Wimbledon.
Oh. Okay, today's match was a default. They were only on court for about 30 minutes, which is such an unfortunate thing. That's never how you want to win a match. One really cool thing about Wimbledon is that it's one of the only places in London where you can ride a horse down the street, and part of the reason of that is because of these stables, which have been here for about 100 years. It's literally right in the middle of the village, and I never knew that it was here. It's like a block down from Dog and Fox, which is one of the really famous pubs, but it's basically a boarding center, so all of the horses are owned, and then there's also a members club, so people in the area can come and ride horses, and they have a little pony named Fudge. This is Fudge. Literally forgot to bring my camera on site for quarters. There was so much going on, but every year at Wimbledon, I get a jelly cat. So I've got 2 bunnies, I've got a strawberry, I've got a tennis ball, and then this year I've been bringing this little one in my bag to all of the matches as like a little good luck. I've not named her yet, but she's been a little good luck charm for all of the matches. There's a shop in Wimbledon Village that has jelly cats, and I was like, okay, if he wins quarters, because he's made to quarters a few times but has never moved on to the semis, I was like, if he wins quarters, I will allow myself another jelly cat. So I got this one this morning. I thought rain would be fitting for London and Wimbledon, even though it hasn't been a very rainy tournament this year compared to past years. It's actually effing hot again. And then as a player gift from IMG, I actually got another tennis ball. So now I've got my little collection of jelly cats from this year's Wimbledon. I don't think I've showed my full jelly cat collection at home, but I just started getting them as gifts, and then I was like, well, I guess we're collecting them now. And now I do sort of love them. I also went to the Wimbledon shop. So every year there's like 1 or 2 things from the Wimbledon merch shop that I really want. I try to avoid buying merch from tournaments, but I feel like because it's Wimbledon and sometimes they do have really cute things, and I have this green Wimbledon hat that I wear all the time. So I got another hat. This is one of the new ones this year. Sweatshirt. It's this little sort of mock crew neck. I don't know if you can really see, but there's a very light Wimbledon and tennis racket sort of embroidery crust. They had this denim jacket that has Wimbledon embroidery on the back. I think it's super cute, and I like that it's not just like a t-shirt or sweatshirt. It's sort of a merch piece that I can integrate into more everyday wear. And then I already packed this up to bring to the courts, but I got this Wimbledon duffel bag actually as part of the player gift this year, but I'm pretty sure they also sell this in the Wimbledon shop on site. So my friend Colton flew here from New York. He actually was with me in London at Queen's and then went back to New York and then came back for Wimbledon. He is probably my #1 like tennis loving friend. So he came for the quarters match, and then today we are going to the women's semifinals match. I really wanted to go to this match because I don't really get the opportunity to go watch matches besides Taylor's. When I tell you guys, I had to ask every single person on tour that I know and who works at Wimbledon that I know to try and get these tickets. If a match is ticketed, even if you're on tour, you can't just like go to the match, or there's not a area that you can go sit in if you have a credential or something. You still need to secure a ticket, and pretty much the only way to do that is actually through the players. So we're going, and I'm wearing sort of pink set. It is from Couray, vintage from the 70s, and then we put a little tennis racket brooch on the side of it, and then I have these pink vintage Chanel sunglasses that are kind of Victoria Beckham 90s-esque. It's definitely a different look, but I thought it'd be cute for a women's match. That was probably the craziest point of the match, actually.
Crazy. We go over some of the other sports.
About it in my Rome vlog, how I have this new obsession with brooches ever since I saw them everywhere on the carpet at the Met, and so now I've been collecting brooches over the last month or 2 months, but because you can kind of fasten brooches to everything, today they are being worn on the bag. And then this is just a random gold chain that sort of adds to the, I don't know, decor of it, but you guys know I love my details. I knew that if Taylor made it deep in the tournament or to semis, that I wanted to do a vintage Vivienne Westwood look. And that's kind of always been my thing for the last like 3 years, is wearing designers based in the cities that the tournaments are in. So this is a Vivienne Westwood. Taylor is playing Carlos today. Obviously gonna be a very difficult match. I think Carlos is on like a 23 win streak right now, 2 in the world, has won 2 Wimbledons, is probably the best player on grass right now. Regardless, to be in the semifinals of Wimbledon is an amazing feat, especially rewind back like 5 weeks ago. Taylor was very stressed, not having the best year, dealing with various injuries, hadn't really had a good result yet this year, and then back-to-back grass titles, and then the semifinals of Wimbledon. So happy for him, and I hope that this result sort of eases the pressure that's coming up of the US swing, and also defending points for a US Open final. And I'm really grateful that I've gotten to spend the maximum amount of time at Wimbledon. I feel like we've been here for 6 months. I'm very excited for the match today. I heard Doctor Strange is coming. I'm a big Marvel fan. And of course it is boiling out today. Thankfully, this is one of the few player boxes that is in the shade. We are shaded. And on days like this in London, being in the shade versus being in the sun is like 2 completely different climates. I can't wait to have air conditioning again.
TEMVT. July 11th, 3:42 p.m. 4 became 2. 2 will become 1. The strawberries have been eaten. The crowds will file out in single file, sun-flushed and slightly dazed. Somewhere just beyond the ivy-covered gates, she laced her fingers through his, not saying much, but knowing exactly what the last 12 days meant. Because in tennis, as in love, the best is always just ahead.